I apologize greatly, actually. We've had a lot of craziness here tonight. We carried the first session. The first session did not have a right setup for the Chevy cars. The Chevys were down and slower and tighter, and then I got sorted out. So we started the broadcast a little bit, or started the session a little bit late. I got all sorted out, and then I just now realized I'm trying out the new live events here on YouTube instead of just streaming like how I did before. And so I didn't realize that. We'll see when I broadcasted last night for Bonehead, and it all actually worked out. But unfortunately, apparently here, when I hit start streaming on OBS, it didn't hook up with the live event, so I was not streaming. So I've been broadcasting for the last 14 laps and wasn't actually streaming. So anyhow, recap what's happened so far. CJ Gates qualified second. Jim Mott qualified on the pole. CJ Gates immediately drove off, got ahead. Jonathan Mazzella got up to second. CJ Gates won stage 1 as the stages here, a lap 10 to lap 20. He won stage 1, and now it's currently also leading by 4 seconds, as he was also the first off pit road. So Jonathan Mazzella now fell back to third, actually. He lost quite a few positions. Chase Berry up there on that Pillsbury Chevrolet. And Steve Gale, a very own commentator, actually, is racing here tonight instead of commentating with me in the booth. He's going to be a pit reporter as we have contact over here. DJ Mitchell goes around. He's going to put the car in reverse. And also, I wanted to mention, there's no cautions except for the stage cautions. So, if you have a tough break, it's kind of sucks. So we're actually taking a look exactly what happened here to DJ Mitchell. If he overshot the corner or it was contact, it looks like actually got loose here out of the bus stop. He got very sideways into the carousel, got very sideways, tried missing that other guardrail, and ended up hitting this wall. So pretty severe damage. Was not totally unrepairable. You need to get the car back going and get back out there trying, actually he's on pit road right now and actually will disconnect. So it's a tough break for him. As you see now, oh, Stephen Gale is off course here. So that's not good for him, as right now battle for second is really heating up here. And also I wanted to mention a couple other things I mentioned before, but I wasn't broadcasting. It's actually Chase Bear now goes around Jonathan Mazzella entering a bus stop. I wanted to mention that we were supposed to do Iowa, and they decided instead to do Watkins Glen, which was supposed to be the race after. And they've actually changed up the schedule quite a bit. So I'll let you all know after the race the schedule specifically. But right now, that's what we're going with. So, yeah, I apologize for the late start of the stream. I didn't know it wasn't streaming. I didn't even look at the live control room. I should have double checked that. So, my apologies greatly. I've been pretty much commentating and broadcasting and interviewed people for the last 14 laps and nobody even knew about it, except for the people who interviewed. So that's disappointing, and I apologize that I started the broadcast so late. My apologies. But nevertheless, Jim Mott still trying to hold off Chase Berry here as CJ Gates has pulled it out to almost a 5-second lead here with 3 laps to go in the stage. And as there goes Chase Berry around the outside, actually, of Jim Mott. Looks like Jim Mott will give him the spot to go right into the bus stop, so he'll let him go. Here comes Jonathan Mazzella now trying to pounce on Jim Mott as he let Chase Berry. But also I wanted to mention Stephen Gale is in the number 58 car tonight, as he accidentally chose that number. And the typical driver of the number 58 machine, Justin Wilson, who's pretty much dominated the last 20 races or so that he's been here. Not 20 races, but pretty much, yeah, he did not make it tonight. He made it the first session, but then when the whole setup issue happened, he, I guess, was not able to join the second session that was remade. So, kind of disappointing there. But he will not be looking to end his back-to-back wins and try to go for 3 in a row. So, that's disappointing for him for sure. But Chase Berry now picked up second place and is going to try to chase down CJ Gates as best as possible. But of course, we only have 2 laps to go here in the stage, so it's going to be pretty difficult to do that. But I want to quickly thank our sponsors here on LCTV, along with Atchison Motorsports Xfinity Series official partners here. So I'd like to thank Hot Rocks Accessories, along with Suicide Awareness, both official partners of Atchison Motorsports Xfinity Series, along with Randy's Wraps. an official LCTV partner, Outlaw Gamer. Check them out on YouTube and also Facebook, Outlaw Gamer. CJ Gates continuing to lead over right now over Chase Berry, but Chase Berry, even though he's too far back to make a charge for the stage, he's really gaining time actually on race leader CJ Gates. As you see, Atchison, he's actually going to head to pit road, so maybe some strategy here. There's Kenneth Sager, there's Kirk Sager, Hilton Young, all the other guys here. There you see CJ Gates. We're ready to turn 1 here on the final lap in stage 2. He won stage 1. Going to try to go for the cycle here and win both stages. So, going to be interesting to see if he can actually do that. But right now, looks like he's going to try to at least get the second check mark of the race off. He was short of the pole, was fastest in practice, short of the pole, qualified second, and really got the lead and has led every single lap so far here. 18 laps completed. And he's working his way through the bus stop, but he's definitely, he's pulled away a big lead, but it seems like other drivers are able to really catch him here. Once they're kind of stuck around people. Chase Berry was kind of stuck behind Jim Mott, got around Jim Mott, and now is trying to charge down CJ Gates. Jonathan Mazello is kind of the same way. He was stuck in third behind Jim Mott, and I ended up getting around Jim Mott, and then tried catching up to CJ Gates, but wasn't able to do it. So, through turns 6 and 7 here. And works his way into turn 7. Right-hander gonna get back up onto the gas. Come across that finish line. He will complete lap 19, going to lap 20. That should be the end of stage 2 here.
Caution down.
There's the caution flag, so he'll win stage 2.
Really doing a great job.
CJ Gates.
We'll keep working on this thing for you. How you doing inside there? You feeling okay?
As you see him trying to get up the pace car here, and also we had to stand still to start. Actually, I want to mention that also. And again, really, my apologies for starting the broadcast weirdly. I didn't know it would actually do that. On Saturday, I thought I had to hit start streaming on YouTube control room, but then as soon as I hit start streaming on OBS, I started it on YouTube. So I thought I did the same thing, and I should have double checked it, but I didn't. And my apologies there, but yeah, right now, CJ Gates is the one to beat here tonight. We won stage 1 and stage 2. We're gonna try to push the pace car here. Only 3 caution laps as the pace car, or excuse me, as the restarts to our single file. So we're gonna still try to catch the pace car here. Pretty much our whole run, no green flag lap. To try to catch up the pace car here, and also there will be no cautions except for stage cautions. I'm not sure, 100% sure if I mentioned that already or not. But there's a pace car, so we can probably catch up to it here. And you see it right there in the picture. This is the Porsche. So there's CJ Gates, race leader, stage 2 winner. As you see everybody else I catch up here. Looks like actually Stephen Gale will finish in a stage in 4th. He came 6th last stage. 2nd place was Jonathan Mazzella. 3rd place was Jim Mott, I believe. So to look at the results here at top to bottom here for the stage. CJ Gates the stage win. Chase Berry 2nd. Tom Mazzella finishes 3rd. Stephen Gale actually 4th. Ricardo Guzman in 5th. Jim Mott actually fell away from 2nd up to 6th in that run. Jeffrey Meyer, he finishes 7th, hopefully on 8th. Kirsty's at 9th, and looks like Roy Atchison has pulled it off the night, but he'll get the final stage point. As the field currently works here under caution, I'm actually going to try to get back in touch here with very own Stephen Gale. See if we can get where they're going to go. Stephen Gale, you got a copy?
10-4.
So, unfortunately, our first interview was not streamed, as I just now realized that didn't start the broadcast. Now I want to ask you again, how does it feel at the car out there, and what do you think you got here to try to get the win?
Well, the car still again gets loose. We put power to it too sudden. I don't know if I can catch them, cause they're pretty fast. They're faster than I can tell you that much. So I keep getting loose in the corners where I shouldn't be getting loose.
Yeah, we saw you have a bit of issues there in turn 6, went off track just a little bit, and I got off in the dirt, got right sideways, back on track, and managed to save it, which is probably about to save the race right there. But you definitely seem to be struggling out there. Is there anything maybe differently you can change, brake bias or something to try to help with your car?
Man, I feel like the car is perfect enough as it is. I just gotta stop making rookie mistakes, honestly.
As you get into your pit stall here.
Like that pit stop.
But yeah, so which corner exactly do you feel like is probably the hardest to try to get around without making a mistake or slipping up?
For me, it's either me overdriving turn 1, or for me, just the S's.
Yeah, certainly, and we appreciate your time here, Steven, and good luck on the race.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Well, that was our very own in-car reporter here, Stephen Gale. We decided to be a little bit fun. If he said he wanted to race, so I said go on and race, and we can make you in-car reporters. You still do your job to get paid, so that's what we've gone with here tonight. And maybe pressured him into a mistake on pit road, unfortunately. But he's still right there in 8th place, looks like. So he actually missed qualifying, qualified 8th, but we're actually not going to go on board with your race leader here. CJ Gates, his pace car lights are out, so we're going to go back green flag this time. We're actually going to go for an onboard lap with CJ Gates to kind of show you how exactly a lap around here works. And of course, he's been the best at it so far, so we're going to go on board with him and see exactly how this all works out as we go into the final stint here, the final stage. Going to be 18 laps. 18 laps to declare the winner here. So interesting to see if anybody has anything for CJ Gates. We've seen Jonathan Mazzella and Chase Berry both try to catch him once they kind of got around cars that are maybe a little bit slower than them. But now they're all bunched up. I'm interested to see as pace car are going to go in here on the pit road. Official iRacing.com Porsche will go down on a pit lane. Green flag is out. We're back on the way here. As actually looks like somebody is pitting. Can't quite tell who that is. It looks like maybe Jeffrey Meyer in that 50 machine. We're going to go on board here. Goes down into second gear for turn 1. You want to be right kind of next to that curbing a little bit. Go onto this curbing and get up into third gear. As you enter the S's, you're going to turn right here, get off the gas, kind of just play with the throttle until you feel comfortable. Goes up, makes the left-hander. Gets up into fourth gear. Then goes up here into the exit of the S's down the back straightaway, the fastest portion of the track. We're going to see what it reaches here into the bus stop, 170 miles an hour. Just under heartbreaker goes down to third, down to second. Actually got a little bit off right there in the bus stop. That's how easy it is to make a mistake. Is doesn't have much pressure from behind, however, as Chase Berry's falling off a little bit. Actually, just Jonathan Mazzilla's behind him now. He goes to the carousel now, out of the carousel, back on the gas in that third gear. Then he's going to shift him into fourth gear right about now. Right there. And then goes brakes right here. Downshift to third, downshift to second. Goes into turn 6. Oh, actually overshoots it just a bit. Didn't quite get slowed down enough, but managed to still make it work. He's going to stay in second gear as he goes into turn 7. Makes that right-hander. Gets back on the gas. Goes into third gear right about now. Then gets up, crosses that finish line at 145 miles an hour. Goes into fourth gear, then he downshifts into third after braking. And then into second once again, makes that right-hander. And gets back on the gas. And you kind of just play with that throttle, because if you mess up that corner right there in the S's, you're going to end up in that guardrail, and it will not do good for your stock car. So stuff else that you want to do is he gets back hard on the brakes here into the bus stop. I'm going to see if he hits it perfectly this time. Yes, he does. You got to use up this curbing so much. You have to use all the curbing right there. And it really upsets the car. It doesn't like the curbing, the rumble strips that much, so you're gonna be really careful exactly where you hit it. You can't really be braking that hard or turning that hard on them, otherwise it end up getting your car really upset and kind of sideways as it goes down here into turn 6. Actually a little bit late in the brake here, and see if it has No, actually, he managed to make it work pretty nicely, actually. Smooth transition into turn 6. Gonna get on the brakes once again here. Turns right into turn 7 and gonna come back out of the corner. So that was our lap there with CJ Gates. As he's kind of the race leader. And he's going to cross our finish line to complete lap 24 and enters lap 25. Jonathan Pizzella now behind him. Jim Ott actually has now moved up into 3rd as I see Ricardo Guzman now actually in 4th. So it looks like Chase Berry has really had some issues. It's nice to see some people pitting. Jeffrey Meyer on pit road. Stephen Gale on pit road. There's where Atchison. And I'm not sure where Chase Berry. Oh, he must have had some issue. Chase Berry, not. I think actually manually disconnected, so I'm curious to see what's that gonna happen to that low machine. Oh man, wow. So we're gonna go back here about 2 laps to what happened to Chase Berry as he's going here through the S's and looks like. Oh yeah, it just got really loose right there and ended up going head on to the outside other wall and got caught in the guardrail. A bit of a glitch there, but I was saying flips violently in the air. Took a look from a different angle here. From the TV camera here the whole time. There we go. Yeah, it goes around the corner. It's very loose. It just hits the guardrail, gets stuck in it, gets thrown up in the air. Lands at the catch fence, kind of trolls around, and then lands there in front of people on the track. And unfortunately for him, there's no caution because there's no cautions at Watkins Glen here. So unfortunately, he just had to disconnect. So tough break for him as he was pretty fast. But right now, up front, it is just all CJ Gates. So he's currently up front and leading right now. Goes into the bus stop. Jonathan Pizzella is trying to reel him in and try to make this race really exciting. CJ Gates has literally led every single lap here so far. Led of 25 laps that we've completed, and he's led every single one of them. So dominant performance. I'm interested to see if John Pizzella or Jim Ott have anything for him here in this last run. It's coming up to 14 laps to go. He's going to have to hit his marks perfectly if he wants to catch this 13 machine. It looks like he is maybe catching it just a little bit. Can't 100% tell. At 1.6 seconds right now. Hasn't really changed. Actually, no, never mind. I don't know, 1.3 seconds now. As they go across that scoring loop. We're going to see when it comes across the next scoring loop. 1.4 seconds now as they go up through the gears in the 4th gear across that finish line. As you see, John Pizzella really going wide there, using up that curbing and using up the extra racetrack there. But it was slipping right there, and the S's got a little bit loose. Almost at the guardrail right there. Did a great job to regain from that. Only lost a little bit of time. Definitely could have been a lot worse right there. So he goes down the long straightaway here. Now on the brakes, down into the 2nd gear as he goes to the bus stop. It goes into the car, so a little bit wide, just a little bit maybe. But it looks like he's going to rebound from that. Maybe he's going to start up a bit. As you see John Pizzella now down to a 1 second gap now, actually down 9/10. So John Pizzella, number 4 machine, he's actually reeling in CJ Gates. So this could get interesting here at the end of the race. CJ Gates has led the entire event, 1 stage 1, 1 stage 2, and now is going to be maybe under fire here from 2nd place. And Jim Ott's also not far back, only 2.2 seconds back, so it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. As now it's actually went back up to a 1.5 second lead for CJ Gates. So as he goes under the curbing actually right there in turn 1, goes back on the gas. Very interesting to see what Jonathan Pizzella runs. At the same, looks like, as it goes through the S's. Then onto the back straightaway here. And then down into 2nd gear. Hard, heavy braking into the bus stop. And of course, the times do change a lot on a road course as you have a lot of straightaways, you're going really fast and you get on the brakes. So then some moments it looks like you're really close, but then other moments you're not really on the relative. So As he goes, and actually now he is officially able to catching him. He's now down to an 0.8 of a second gap, and definitely catching him on the racetrack here. So, it'll be interesting to see how this all works out for him. Mazzella trying to get his first career win afterwards for Xfinity Series. And he goes down into second gear once again here, into turn 1. Not quite as early on the gas and the throttle as CJ Gates is, but different lines of sweat. It's pretty fast here, so as oh, he did catch CJ Gates there a little bit, I believe. I'm trying to see exactly information here, so he's definitely catching CJ Gates, so it's not a half-second lead now. As we're coming up to just 11 laps to go. It's going to be very interesting to see how this all works out, specifically. As, oh, John Mazzella gets very sideways. Oh, he's going to spin it into the guardrail. Now, here comes Jim Mont. He's going to go on by and take second place, and that right there is just pushing the car into its limits, trying to catch that leader. You see him in your sights. You know you're fast lane. You're trying to do everything you can to catch and gain time on him, but unfortunately for him, he just got out from underneath him, couldn't quite gather it up, and he still managed to save it, and he's still running third here, but unfortunately for him, it's pretty much race over at this point for the race win at least, so he's going to try to go back and get Jim Mont back for second, but this is also a big sigh of relief now for CJ Gates, as he was getting pressure from behind, and now that pressure is gone, so he can just kind of cruise, make sure he hits his marks, don't make a huge mistake that will cost you the win, and pretty much just close out the event here, so. But that's just racing and road courses and just road course racing. So it's pretty exciting there for sure. As go to the bus stop here. And actually, the last start that Jonathan Mazzella made was only back at Las Vegas. He ran the first 3 races, ran Daytona. He ran Atlanta, then ran Las Vegas. So that was his last start. Was Las Vegas. So he's gonna make his return here back at Watkins Glen. So it's good for him. As here's CJ Gates into turn 7. Gonna come across the finish line and have just 10 laps to go here at Watkins Glen. 10 more perfect laps. And the question is, will these guys have the pit? That's the main question. So. He goes down in the second gear there, make that right-hander in turn 1. See Atchison right there, but I go a lap down actually to CJ Gates. Oh, excuse me, going about 2 laps down. He's already 1 lap down, currently scoring 9th place. There's Kirk Frazier at 6th place, Hilton Young 5th. Stephen Gale is currently 8th, 1 lap down after he pitted. Maybe there is a fuel strategy though. I'm not quite sure. You've not seen these guys at the pit yet, so it's interesting to see how far they can go on fuel. So you see Rush can go 2 laps down there. But CJ Gates, it's gonna be interesting to see how much these guys can actually go on fuel, if they have to pit or if they can save it and make it to the end of the race. And if so, who will do it? We usually know that. Actually, looks like Ricardo Guzman had some issues. He went off and cut the bus stop there. Maybe he had to slow down to give that time back to iRacing. So here's Sheffield Meyer though. He's actually currently scored a lap down in 7th place. I believe he was one of the ones who put there on the restart. There's Stephen Gale, also 8th place, 1 lap down, trying to pass him, closing out in 5th. So interesting to see if anybody can actually make it on fuel and pull some strategy. That's the next question. So you see CJ Gates there, still 2.5 seconds ahead of Jim Mont. The question is, will we see anybody make some green flag pit stops here? Or will we see somebody be able to make it on fuel to the end of the race so no others can't? As you see, oh, CJ Gates actually hit the guardrail right there. And it's definitely something you want to do, is he damaged the right side of his car, not too drastically. I'm actually surprised, because usually if you hit that guardrail, it ends up getting your car extremely sideways, and you kind of, spin to the left, and it can very easily cause you to crash. But actually now it looks like the right side of his car is fixed, so I guess some Jedi mind tricks by the pit crew to fix the car, as he's looking for his first career win. However, he has actually not won a race here at Atchison Motorsports Xfinity Series. So he's looking for his first career win, and so far he's been doing it in dominant fashion, but don't count Jim Ott out yet, as he's right there behind him, actually. So it's going to be interesting to see. Gotta make sure he doesn't make any mistakes, or Jim Ott will be right there on his tail. So as actually Jim Ott, he has 3 career wins in the Atchison Motorsports Xfinity Series, looking for his 4th one this season. As he won at Phoenix, he won at Michigan, then went back-to-back, and won at Chicagoland. He's now looking for his 4th win here. But CJ Gates is looking for his first career win in the Atchison Motorsports Xfinity Series. This is actually 3rd in points coming in tonight's event. And definitely not been super slow, though. I mean, his best career finish in the Atchison Motorsports Xfinity Series coming into the night was 4th place, which was at Bristol Motor Speedway. So, which also, he actually tied that finish position with Michigan. So, he's definitely a front runner, but trying to prove himself here in the Atchison Motorsports Xfinity Series as a winner. And, of course, maybe a workhorse winner. Pretty exciting, as we slowed up just a bit right there, and it goes actually off into the grass just a tad, and it goes off of the grass there going to turn 7. So making a couple of mistakes here. It's coming up to 7 laps to go. Oh, he's pitting. CJ Gates to pit road. Now Jim Ott will take over the race lead for the first time here tonight with a different winner, or a different leader. We are cautious, 2 cautions, 1 lead change. It's the very first lead change, fastest lap 1:14.925. So it's very interesting here. So Jim Ott now takes over the race lead. But the question is, will CJ Gates take tires, or will he just take a gas and go? He goes to his pit stall here. Looks like he'll just take gas only and get back underway. So interesting to see how that works out here for everybody else. There's Jim Ott. And that number 3 machine. Again, looking for his 4th career win and 4th on the season. And also currently the points leader here on Atchison Motorsports Xfinity Series. Across the finish line. He's not pitting yet, but now see Jonathan Mazzella back there in 2nd. He's going to head to pit road out of 2nd place. So there's CJ Gates. He's now scored in 3rd place, actually. So there's Stephen Gale and Jeffrey Meyer. Still currently a lap down here. So there's Jonathan Mazzella on pit road, but Jim Ott down the back straightaway and into the bus stop. He still has not made his pit stop yet. So we're going to come up to 5 laps to go this time. It'll be interesting to see if he's going to come down or not, as he did come in 2nd. So it's going to be interesting to see how this works out for him. Now goes into turn 6. Will he head down pit road? That is the question. As we go into turn 7, this will be the decider. Will he come to pit road, or will he stay out another lap? He's going to stay out another lap. So we're going to have 5 laps to go here from Watkins Glen. Can he make it on fuel is the next question, as I see Kirk Stagers down pit road. And also he's going to put Hilton Young a lap down here. So we only have 4 cars down on the lead lap. Does he have enough fuel to make it to the end of the race? That's the question. As we've seen everybody else pit except for Jim Ott. Actually, Jonathan Mazzella came off pit road ahead of CJ Gates. So, really bad pit stop here by CJ Gates, unfortunately for him. There's Jonathan Mazzella. Very sideways, both getting sideways off of turn 7 there. Jonathan Mazzella actually came off pit road ahead of CJ Gates. So now, Jonathan Mazzella going to try to beat CJ Gates here. And, before Atchison's off the track here. Gonna check it back on the track. And CJ Gates really working hard, getting a little bit sideways actually. So what I thought when the race was gonna be over for Jonathan Mazzella, it's obviously suddenly turned back on for him. He's actually gone ahead of CJ Gates after the pit cycle. So like I said, a better pit stop than CJ Gates, even though CJ Gates took no tires and fuel only. It maybe actually was the call. Interesting to see here now. It looks like Jonathan Mazzella did take fuel only also, so it's kind of interesting. Is Jim Ott going to stay out for another lap here? Have 4 laps to go. So the question is, will we see him actually be able to make it the rest of the race without having to pit? That's the question. As you see the pit stops right there, John Mazzella at 5.95 pit stop, 7.27 for CJ Gates. So a bad pit stop by CJ Gates and his crew. And number 4 crew really did a good job for him, as they've not gone him ahead by CJ Gates by a whole second. So there you see Jonathan Mazzella, and there you see CJ Gates, who has led the majority of this race. So it's really a shame, honestly, for him to end up losing here at the end. He's led 32 laps, won both stages, and now after green flag pit stops, looks like he's not going to be able to pull it off here unless he can be able to chase down John Mazzella and get back around him. But he's kind of losing more time now, down to a second and a half. But Jim Ott still out front, yet to make his pit stop. We're interested to see, though, as the chrono with 3 laps to go, will he pit this time, or will he try to make it even further, maybe make it at the end of the race? It's going to be interesting to see here if he's able to do it. No signs of pitting yet, but we don't know until he actually comes down pit road. As yes, he will pit, so Jim Ott will come down pit road, sacrifice the lead for now, but he is a 31-second gap back to Jonathan Mazzella. So the question is, will he hold on to the lead? So there he is on pit road. We're going to see what John Mazzella does. He's coming here into turn 6. So I believe he will pass him here. Into turn 6. And this is, will be the battle for the lead. So, but there's Jim Ott now rolls into his pit stop, comes to a complete stop. And there's Jonathan Mazzella coming out of turn 7 down the long front stretch here. Jim Ott gonna get back going here. Jonathan Mazzella gonna come across that finish line right there. And now Jim Ott's rolling out of pit road, but it's not gonna be enough. Jonathan Mazzella is actually gonna go by him here. You see him side by side. Jim Ott has to run off of pit road, gonna actually be ahead of Jonathan Mazzella. Very close. Now Jonathan Mazzella is side by side through the S's. This is not gonna work. Somebody's gonna have to give here. Just side by side through the S's. Jonathan Mazzella actually gonna take that spot away from Jim Ott with 3 laps to go here. Now can Jonathan Mazzella hold off Jim Ott for his first career win, making the return since the 3rd race of the season back at Watkins Glen. He's been away for 15 races, and all of a sudden he's going to come back and try to pull off a victory. But he's got to hold off one of the best in the series, Jim Ott, the number 3 machine. He's already won 3 times this season. He's going to try to go to victory lane for 4th. But he's got to try to get around that 4 machine now. Coming up to just 2 laps to go here at Watkins Glen. And it looks like, oh, Jim Ott maybe messed up the corner just a bit there. Maybe fell off, bleed just a bit. So Jonathan Mazzella opened up to just a bit of a gap. But we thought the race was all over for him when we saw him get into the guardrail there after he got loose off the carousel. And it looked like it was all over for him. But then amazing pit stop with the number 4 cars. Here comes Jim Ott with a dive bomb down low. Gets sideways. Jonathan Mazzella goes wide to avoid contact and actually now loses the lead to Jim Ott. With just 2 laps to go, and now that these guys are battling, here comes CJ Gates trying to regain and lose or get back with his, but he's gonna actually hit the guardrail. Jonathan Mazzella gets very sideways. This guy's racing very hard. To go down the back straightaway here. So only led 5 laps. He's trying to lead the last one here. Can he hold off Jonathan Mazzella, or will Jonathan Mazzella be able to catch back up to him? And what will CJ Gates do when he gets up here? Jonathan Mazzella gotta make sure he tries to keep cool and refocus, not push the car to its limits and spin as gets off the carousels again, and basically just hurting his tires even more, losing more time. He's gotta be very careful not to do that. And it looked like we're gonna have a new winner this season, but Jim Ott gonna try to steal that away as through turn 7 he goes. 1 more lap here around Watkins Glen. Jim Ott currently leading. He's led 6 laps here so far. Gotta hold off Jonathan Mazzella and CJ Gates, however. Both have been very fast here tonight. So Jim Ott wasn't really leading much of the race. Looked like CJ Gates was the car to beat. Pit stops happened, and Jonathan Mazzello managed to look like he was going to get the lead there and drive away. But then Jim Ott manages to get him back and pass him back. It looks like he's not going to hold him off. He's continuing to pull away. Now CJ Gates actually looks like he maybe made a mistake right there in that corner. Falls back now at 7.5 seconds. So Jim Ott now 2.5 seconds out of second place. Jonathan Mazzello that goes down the back straightaway here and hard on the brakes into the bus stop. Don't make a mistake, as there's no need to push the car at this point. He's pretty much got it locked up as long as he don't make a mistake. That's all Jonathan Mazzello is hoping for right now, is that he makes a big mistake. But with only 3 more corners left to go, I don't think it's going to happen here. Jim Ott very nicely clean through the carousel. Comes out of the carousel. Down the straightaway here and into turn 7. Looks like he's going to get it done. Into turn 6 he goes. It looks like it'll be the number 3 machine going to victory lane here tonight at Watkins Glen. Jim Ott off turn 7 to come across our finish line, and he'll win here at Watkins Glen. Come across the finish line. Jonathan Mazzello finished second there. CJ Gates in third, but the main up front and one who got it done, Jim Ott in the number 3 machine. Gonna pick up the win here tonight. In that number 3 machine. And a very disappointing race there for CJ Gates after first dominating in the first part of the race, the 32 laps, and then had a bad pit stop there and kind of got stolen by his pit crew pretty much. So tough break for him, but Jim Ott gonna pick up his 4th win of the season here at Watkins Glen, showing that he can't be beat, whether it's just turning left or turning left and right. Come around to the front stretch here and burn him down. After winning his 4th career win in the Atchison Motorsports Xfinity Series, he'll pick up the win here at Watkins Glen. He's going to stop right here on the front stretch. There he goes, going to go for a big slide, shoot him back into the wall, and going to burn him down here at Watkins Glen. Continue to burn some tires here and celebrate on the front stretch. Very hard-fought victory here by Jim Ott here at Watkins Glen. Fight off Jonathan Mazzello making his return since Las Vegas, trying to rebound and pull off for the victory here and make a statement as he returned. Couldn't quite pull it off as he finished the second. CJ Gates won stage 1, won stage 2. Look, he was the car to beat, fleeting 32 laps. He pitted, and his pit crew basically gave him a bad pit stop, and that really hurt him. But we're going to go on a quick commercial break, but come back with interviews with the top few finishers, along with very own Stephen Gale for our in-car report. Don't go away, right back.
So, you want to race in NASCAR. The road starts here. Introducing the eNASCAR Ignite Series powered by iRacing. This is the gateway for all aspiring 13 to 16-year-olds. Starting June 20th, ignite your dreams of one day racing in the top tiers of NASCAR. Go to www.iracing.com/ignite for full details.
We're back live here to Watkins Glen here for race number 13 of the Atchison Motorsports Xfinity, or excuse me, 19 Atchison Motorsports Xfinity Series here at Watkins Glen. And we're getting set here to get interviews, look at your results. Quickly thank all the sponsors here at Atchison Motorsports Xfinity Series, along with LCTV sponsors here at Atchison Motorsports Xfinity Series. Like Prop Products accessories, along with suicide awareness. Also, a big shout out here to Randy's Wraps. Last but not least, an official LCTV sponsor, Outlaw Gamer. Check them out on YouTube and also Facebook at Outlaw Gamer. So wrapping up here at Watkins Glen, we're gonna get first a word in here with our third place finisher, CJ Gates. As I'm gonna try to do this here. CJ Gates, looks like LCTV broadcast booth, got me?
Yeah, I got a copy.
So CJ, looked like you were the main to beat out here tonight. Led 32 laps to qualify in second, one stage 1 and one stage 2, but unfortunately, a pit stop that did not go your way, kind of cost you the chance of the victory there, which is very unfortunate for you. But you managed to beat your best career finish here, still finishing on the podium. So congratulations to you on that. And I'm sure obviously you're very disappointed about not quite getting that victory, but looked like you were pretty dominant there. It was really fun watching the three of you try to get the win there, and unfortunately for you, it didn't work out. But just talk about how your whole race went and as a whole, and what happened there in the last pit stop.
Yeah, I don't think it was the pit stop that messed me up too much. After the pit stop, I downshifted into first, heading in the bus stop, and about lost control there. That cost me a lot of time. And then when them guys came out in front of me, I started pushing too hard. So not the way I expected it to end, but it is what it is. We'll get them next week.
Yeah, certainly, and obviously a good momentum booster as you led 32 laps here. You had your best career finish, so obviously very good for you. And of course, this is not the last road course we're going to, so if you can go try to get it at Sonoma and rebound from there, that'd be obviously great for you. But any shout-outs we'll give here for your podium finish?
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to my teammates, Jim and Jonathan, and Paparazzi Jewelry and Atchison Motorsports, and you guys up in the booth. You always do a good job.
I appreciate it, CJ, and congratulations on third. Have a good night.
You too, buddy.
Alrighty, that was your third place finish here tonight. CJ Gates, look like he was a man to beat. One stage 1, one stage 2, 32 laps, most amount of laps here. And still had a career best finish in third place, but fortunately for him, was not able to get it done. But nevertheless, still good night for him. But unfortunately, we did not have our second place finisher, John Pizzella. Unfortunately, we did not have him here in the Discord, so we're going to have to skip right on to our race winner here, Jim Mott, number 3 machine, in the broadcast booth. Jim Mott, looks like also the broadcast booth, got me?
Gotcha, bud.
So, Jim, you managed to pull off another win here tonight, this time turning right and left. Didn't look like you really had the car to beat you here tonight. It actually looks like CJ Gates was the main guy. We managed to have a good pit stop there in the last about 10 laps there. You were able to gain time and pass Jonathan Pizzella, hold him off, and get your 4th win of the season here tonight, leading only 7 laps. Pretty chaotic race there. It looked like, like I said, CJ was going to win the race, and a lot of stuff got shuffled up there at the end. You managed to pull it off. Talk about just your battle there with John Pizzella, how the whole pit stop happened. You came out right ahead of him, actually, and just the whole race as a whole.
Yeah, and as far as the road course stuff, it's not my strong suit by any means. So how I pulled it off today, I'm not quite sure. CJ was definitely quick. I don't know if I was catching him on the long runs because he was making mistakes, or I was just a little bit better. But last pit stop, I was just a little bit short on fuel, so I was hoping those guys were going to take tires and the fuel they needed. I go gas only, and then I figured that'd be enough to get me out in front and just hold them off. But great racing as a whole with those guys, and again, just kind of fortunate to pull this one off.
Yeah, certainly, and obviously it's not the last road course we go to. As I just mentioned, the CJ, we're going to go to Sonoma, actually, which they don't go to the Xfinity cars in real life, so it's going to be pretty exciting how that race works out there. Obviously, quite a different track, though, a lot slower, and it's very interesting to see how everybody shuffles out here and going into the playoffs. You're actually the points leader headed in this event, so obviously you're going to grow on that more over Jeffrey Meyer, who didn't have a stellar night here tonight. So you're going to grow your points lead, obviously, going into the chase as you get closer and closer. I believe we only have 5 races after this before we start the chase, so thoughts on chase?
Yeah, That's kind of what we're looking forward to, is just getting that chase and hopefully bring home championship. But I'm not sure what the lineup looks for in the chase. If it follows the schedule. If it does, I know the tracks on there are pretty solid for us. So looking forward to that. And I think he's got Pocono for next week. So another strong track. So we'll just take it one track at a time.
Yeah, certainly. And I do not see any road courses, unless of course we do the Roval. But I do not see any road courses in the chase. So I guess that's good news for you. But yeah, so congratulations on the win here, Jim. And any shout-outs you want to give for your win?
Yeah, appreciate that. Roy for putting on the league as always, and you and up there in the booth. And great racing with the guys tonight.
Yeah, certainly. Thank you for your time, Jim. Have a good night. Alrighty. That was your race winner here tonight, Jim Ott, in the number 3 machine, picking up the win. But now we're going to take time to interview the guy who usually does interviews also. So, Stephen Gale, we're going to bring the broadcast booth here. Stephen Gale, let's see your broadcast booth, get me.
I got you.
So, yeah, in-car reporter going to finish here. Not exactly the best night you obviously wanted, as you had some issues there. You ended up finishing 8th, I believe, here tonight. But overall, kind of just went out there for fun, as you're not racing for points or anything. Your first start here in the series, and it was kind of a little insight as to what was happening in the car throughout the race. So, yeah, just talk to us how the car was, whatnot.
Well, it was all right. I got loose from time to time. I accidentally went to second gear and I revved up the accelerator. It would go. I'll lose it. But other than that, the car felt fine all night. Just at the end, just kept overdriving it, trying to get 6th, and just hit the wall at the end and just lost another spot and just couldn't drive it through at the end.
Yeah, it was certainly slick out there. Just saw all the front runners. They actually pitted and didn't take any tires for the 20 lap stint there at the end. So it was kind of interesting to see that strategy and how old tires handled. As we saw, CJ Gates, he made a mistake actually downshifting into first, going to the bus stop. That kind of cost him the shot, the win. And it's a lot of people trying to be perfect, and obviously drivers make mistakes. And it was interesting to see where drivers made mistakes and where their strong suits were. So. Where do you feel like, we talked to you earlier around the end of stage 2 as to where you felt like you were losing the most amount of time, or maybe it was harder to take consistently each lap and do it well. And I believe you said the turn 1 and also the bus stop. So is that how you kind of felt there in the last run, especially on those old tires?
Oh yeah, definitely. I just kept overdriving turn 1 because the braking points change when you have older tires, so I just kept braking a little too late and just kept driving up the course, and it got frustrating trying to get back to that point where I just can stop overdriving to turn. And the bus stop, guys, for some reason, actually got better over the long run. Didn't have a problem with it. It was only just turn 1 was my major issue.
Yeah, certainly, and I also want to bring up the fact that obviously the curbing here, or the rumble strips, whatever you want to call it, how much did that affect the car whenever you kind of went over that? Did it kind of toss the car side to side to make you a little bit loose, or just how did those affect as you obviously had to drive over some of them?
I only noticed it again in turn 1 if I really went over it. Depending on how I went over it, it'll get really loose. Sometimes in a bus stop, but it really depends at the bus stop what gear, and especially like where you hit it too, because it can make you loose entering the carousel, which is a bad thing. And other than that, they don't really do much whether or not. It's only at those places I find where they really make a difference if you hit it or not.
Yeah, certainly, and we appreciate your time, Stephen, and also being our little in-car reporter. And congratulations, I guess, on 8th. I mean, racing out for fun, so it doesn't really matter a whole lot. But I appreciate your time, Stephen. Have a good night.
Thank you. You too.
Alrighty, that was your, I guess, 8th place finish here. But in-car report out, so we're going to just stick with here tonight. So, a little bit of fun there. We did a little bit different here for a road course. So, obviously, very interested to see here the first road course of the season. Jim Ott picks up the victory, 4th victory of the season, actually. And we're now going to take a look at your results here, top to bottom, as got to see exactly how this finished out here. So results top to bottom here. Jim Ott picks up the win here. Jonathan Mazzella comes second. CJ Gates, one stage 1, one stage 2, led 32 of the 40 laps here tonight, but ended up winding up in 3rd place, 8.5 seconds behind the leader after some mistakes there. Ricardo Guzman, he's going to finish here in 4th. Tilton Young, the last car on the lead lap, in 5th. Sixth place, Jeffrey Meyer, 1 lap down. Second, the guy in second in points. Kirk Sager, he's going to finish here in seventh, also 1 lap down. Last car, 1 lap down. Stephen Gale, our in-car reporter, he's going to finish eighth. Righteous, he finishes ninth, 2 laps down. And then Chase Berry had that big issue there after he was actually second place there. Just entering stage 3, he had the issue there in the S's and ended up wrecking in a very odd wreck. So unfortunately for him, he's going to end up finishing 10th here tonight after having a top 3 run there. DJ Mitchell is going to finish here 11th, 26 laps down, and Kenneth Sager finishes 29 laps down, the very beginning of race car there in the 12th last car to start the race. So we appreciate y'all watching here tonight on LCTV. We hope to see you Tuesday night, actually, for TBR Truck Series. They're going to return back after an off week. We're going to go to the 2-mile oval of Auto Club Speedway, so it's going to be pretty exciting to watch that there. And then immediately following, actually, it's not on LCTV, but immediately following on MaxSpeed TV, I'll actually be commentating for MaxSpeed TV as officially become a partner of them. So go subscribe to them. I have the channel linked actually in the featured channels here on LCTV Broadcasting. I'll be commentating for them in All Pro Racing Series, so you can come watch that on the broadcast or actually race in it if you have iRacing and you have the trucks. It would be the trucks at Charlotte Motor Speedway. 10 p.m. Eastern is the start of the broadcast, I believe, at least. So 9:45, 10 o'clock, around there. So come race, come out, race, watch the broadcast. If you race, you get paid money. I believe the top 3 finishers all get paid money. So if you're good at Charlotte and the trucks and you want to just have some fun and race on Tuesday night, come out and race in that and have a chance to win some money. Or you can watch the broadcast, either or, very much appreciated. And then, of course, next Saturday, Bonehead Racing returns once again here after back-to-back Daytona weeks. So we also had some money get thrown out there last Saturday with Russell Kane finishing second, then finishing first, picking up his first win of the season, obviously. And we're interested to see is they actually head to USA International Speedway. So the HMI cars at USA, not really something that's great combination that's been run before. Not a great combination, but not like a combination I've actually seen run before. So it's my first time watching the nationwide cards at USA. It's going to be very interesting to see how that goes, and hopefully it should be a very exciting race. And I think it will be, of course. And so it's going to be very exciting there. And then, of course, next week, Atchison Motorsports Xfinity Series heads to Pocono, as you heard there. So we're going to go to Pocono 2011, so the old version of Pocono here in iRacing. We're going to have to downshift the third gear quite often. It's going to be pretty exciting to watch Pocono. It's very slick, the old Pocono is, so it's going to be pretty fun to see who can go win that one. As we saw Chase Berry win there in a photo finish last time, holding off Justin Wilson. So it's going to be interesting to see what can happen next time. But tonight, Jim Mott picked up his 4th career win of the season, but he'll try to go back-to-back next week, and also we'll probably see the return of Justin Wilson after missing tonight's event. But Chase starts off. As I said, I'll give you guys the schedule, actually. I'll read them off here. So I'll go into do that. So the schedule for Atchison Motorsports Xfinity Series here, just to give you guys the insight as to what exactly happens here. So the schedule next week, as I said, we head to Pocono Raceway, 2011 version. Then we go to Bristol, so we go back to Bristol Motor Speedway, some short track night racing. That's going to be pretty exciting there. Then we head over to Kansas Speedway for a mile and a half. So I don't believe, actually, yeah, we've not gone to Kansas yet, so it's pretty exciting there. Michigan, we're going to go to Michigan once again. Jim Mott, as you see right now, doing burnouts. He actually won last time to Michigan, so we're interested to see if he can do back-to-back at Michigan. Then we go back to another road course, the last race before the chase. That is at Sonoma Raceway. And then the chase races are the 10-race chase. You have Darlington, Las Vegas, Darlington, Indianapolis, Las Vegas, Richmond, Charlotte, Dover, Kansas, Texas, ISM, and Homestead. So it's very interesting to see how that all works out. We're pretty exciting 10-race chase. Their top 16 in points make the chase. So it's very interesting to see how that all goes. As I said, coming into tonight's event, Steve Linden held on to that last chase spot over Jonathan Mazzella, but obviously Jonathan Mazzella finishing second here tonight, going to give him that spot. So Jonathan Mazzella now will be the last car, I believe, in on point. So it's very interesting to see how that all works out exactly. But nevertheless, we appreciate y'all watching here tonight on LCTV, and I hope to see you. Obviously, all the races I just listed everything, but appreciate y'all watching, and LCTV signing out.